Flashback Messi has arrived in FIFA 23 Ultimate Team, and although I haven't done many reviews in this year's FIFA, I've got to do this one. I've got to pick this card up and I've got to try it out. I'm going to say instantly though, EA, I'm a little bit disappointed. You could have at least given us the option to have played him centre forward. That's my only negative. That's my only negative. I do think it's a bit pricey as well, but we'll come on to that later in the video. But for most part, I just wish he had the centre forward option. Like, doesn't have to come out with packs as that, but, you know, have the option. That being said, I've made a team that's very, very clever. So Ito can actually play centre forward to start with, but would actually make for a good winger, and he comes out as a winger. So what I'm going to do in-game is switch Messi and Ito. Ito's going to go wide, Messi's going to go centre forward, and we're going to have some fun. So let's have a quick look at this item, shall we? Comes with 4-star, 4-star, which is nice. Also, the wear rates are different to the non-inform, with him having medium, medium versus low, low on obviously the normal card in the game. You can see the alternate positions, bit of a shame, but he does have some really, really good play traits, which are instant positives, finesse, and mainly the outside foot shot, which is just so OP this year. In regards to in-game stats, obviously the pace is much better than the non-inform, shooting not as good, passing still decent though, and the dribbling is obviously really nice. It's elite for most part. Physicals aren't the best, but we never expect crazy physicals on a Messi item, but yeah, dribbling looks great. So let's see how I got on with Flashback Messi in the team. Obviously, pretty much at the start of the game, I did switch him from that right mid role to the centre forward role because obviously I wanted to play with him centrally. And I'll tell you straight away, the guy made an instant impact. He was just at the centre of everything. And don't worry, I'm aware his number is 20. I changed that in a minute, don't you worry. But anyway, spoiler alert, he's absolutely the star of the show in this game. Constantly getting the ball in good areas, creating chances for himself and others in the team. He was really a joy to use, to be honest, and I probably should have scored more goals with him. I am of course going to include, you know, some of the shots that we didn't, you know, succeed with, but like it just shows that he constantly created chances for himself and others, like I previously mentioned. But how about this for a goal? First time outside the foot shot into the back of the net to put us in front for the first time in the game. You love to see that. Another thing you're going to see in the clips obviously is some decent passing attributes as well, and even him contributing defensively, as you'll see in a few moments. But a really nice move there, turning defense, or what would have been defense, into attack, and allowing Donovan to get himself a goal. And how about this for a run? And also, how about that from a pass from Ito? Brilliant pass. Great assist for Messi to put us 5-3 up. But this game, it was just a goal fest. And I've got to give credit here. Messi just winning that header there ahead of Cordoba. Sadly, doesn't trouble the keeper too much. But I like the fact he challenged for the ball. But anyway, we won the game. And most of that was just due to the brilliance of Messi in that matchup. Because, yeah, 4 goals and 1 assist, which is, you know, a pretty good start. Anyway, we move on into the next few matches now, and here you can see him linking up nicely with Donovan and Ribery to create a chance for himself. Sadly doesn't score on first occasion, but he does get a bit of luck and ends up tapping the ball into the back of the net. As I say, we did get a little bit lucky with that one. On this occasion here, I feel like we should have scored. I was hoping for a bit more from the outside foot shot, but it wasn't to be, and yeah, that's all there is to say. We did get some luck later on though with this strike, hitting the post and then bouncing perfectly to Donovan to put us 3 goals up. Messi gets on the end of this cross and does really well to do so, but sadly can't convert. And then just before half time, another one of them L2 shots into the back of the net to seal the victory. And well, yeah, you can see what followed. Moving on then into game number 3, and this one was interesting. I've got to say my opponent wasn't the best defender, I think that's fair to say, and you'll see that with some of the goals that we do indeed score in a few moments. Like this for instance, from the corner, given loads of space, and you can't give a card, you can't give any card loads of space in FIFA, especially one that has good shooting stats. And Messi outside the foot shot once more into the back of the net. Beautiful assist here for Renato Sanchez, who does really well to finish just after the 10-minute mark. And then Messi just continues to punish, and is unfortunate not to get another goal there, but gets a corner. And how about this for a finish? Look at that, beautiful, and of course a rage quit did follow. Alright, now you've seen the card in action and I've played with this item a little bit, it's time for me to give my thoughts, and let's begin with the positives. We'll start with the obvious. The pace boost is obviously quite nice. In regards to like compared to the other Messi cards, the acceleration difference really isn't all that noticeable, but what is noticeable is once he gets going that he definitely does feel much quicker versus, let's say, that non-informed Messi item. So that's obviously great. And like just in general, a positive is of course the dribbling. He feels class on the ball, so easy to maneuver, just really agile, and as I say, just easy to control, and that makes him very fun to use. And if I'm doing a comparison, like in regards to like compared to normal Messi, even though normal Messi's dribbling is, you know, better stats wise, I feel like they're both very similar. Like this card's obviously, you know, a bit more agile and has a bit more pace, so actually, you know, can kind of get out of scenarios a little bit better, I felt anyway. So yeah, dribbling very similar to, as I say, the normal card there. We then come on to the traits. I mentioned it at the start, I knew they were going to be useful. Finesse shot is obviously handy, but the main one this year, outside foot shot, it's just, yeah, it's mad, and you saw that in the footage. When you've got someone who's got, you know, pretty decent shooting and the outside the foot shot trait, goals are going to be scored. And then, of course, we come on to another thing which is kind of important, the work rate change. Normal Messi, low work rates. This Messi, medium. Now, if you use player instructions, you might not notice it as much, but if you don't, then you might notice your Messi's not being as lazy as a non-in-form. And then we come on to like my last main positive, and I said it's a fun card, which, let's be honest, we don't get too many of in FIFA. It's normally just, you know, an absolute sweat fest. But this card, I found it to be quite fun to use. And I do think these, you know, flashbacks, these kind of flashbacks do have some really good novelty value, which, you know, give us, as the player, the extra incentive to go ahead and complete them. So, yeah, I'm happy. There are, of course, some downsides to this Messi item. The strength and aggression combo isn't great like with all Messi items, so you are going to have to avoid those would-be defenders to get the most out of this card. Luckily, fantastic dribbling will help you with that. Another thing that we obviously have to note is the price. Feel free to disagree, and if you do, let me know in the comments. I feel like one squad less and this SBC is priced fairly at that point. I feel like EA have overdone it a bit. I'm guessing their mindset is because of all the upgrade packs, the swap stuff, that people can get this card cheaper, which they can, I guess, but I do feel like EA, if you took, you know, one of the squads off, one of the two most expensive ones off, then you've actually got yourself a really nicely priced SBC that I think a lot of people would have been happy with. I still think people are happy with it though, but obviously I'll wait to hear your guys' opinions. As I say, I don't think the price is terrible, but I do think it's a little bit overs, but it is what it is. Like I said in the positives, it is a novelty card, and I guess there is a lot of reason for people to do it. The last thing to cover, which isn't a standout negative, so I'm not actually going to write it on the screen. I just want to know, obviously the shooting isn't as good as some of the other Messi items, but it's still pretty damn good. I found this guy to be really nice in front of goal, especially from distance. So although his shooting isn't as good as some of the other Messi cards, I still thought it was up to good standard, and I thought it was better than the in-game stats suggested. So just before we end, let's have a quick look on Futbin, coming in at around 325k. As I say, I think if this was like one SBC less, it would be good value at that point. It's about a 50-50 split at the minute. But yeah, you take off one of these SBCs, drop it 100k, and I feel like at that point people are much happier with it. But like I've already said, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. I do think it's kind of interesting to compare these two items, because obviously you've got one card here that's like ×4/×5 the cost of the other SBC. But, you know, you can say the same thing for both of these cards. On one side, the flashback's got some really good stats in some key areas, but so has the normal card. But if I'm being honest, if I had to pick one to use for the rest of FIFA, I'd probably use the flashback one just because of the pace boost. I just think it's so useful in the game. Is it as clinical as the non-inform? No. But is it going to get into more attacking areas than the non-inform? Yes, because of 1, the pace, and 2, the work rates as well. So naturally, he's just going to pop up a little bit more for you. But as I say, probably not as clinical, but definitely more fun to use in my opinion. So with all that being said, do I think this Messi item is worth doing? Is it worth it? I think if you're a fan of Messi, you've got it done already, so you're probably not watching this video. But if you're umming and ahhing, if you got the fodder, I'd do it. It's a fun card, and just like we've seen in previous years with the Flashback Ronaldo we got a while back, Flashback Neymar we got back a while back, they're going to be super popular cards. They're going to pop up in champs a lot no matter what. So do you want to miss out on that? I don't think you do. I think it's a card Ultimately worth completing, as I say, if you can do it cheaply, which you definitely can because of swaps and all the other upgrades. So yeah, I'm going to recommend doing it. I just wish, as I say, I know it might not be relevant, but I just wish they made it, you know, a centre forward option. But it is what it is. Anyway, guys, if you've stuck around, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate you who, you know, hang around till the end. If you could leave a like rating on the video, that would be very much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.